Hey Adam, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, can we make our way into this room over here, please? In this direction. Into the main room by the bar, please. Ladies and gentlemen. We will give you a moment to collect yourself. You can turn the music up just a little bit. You know who we are. As the people gathering. Blessings, King, how are you? My name is Salon50, Hot 97. I do the morning show. I don't know how many people wake up that early. Along with Ebro Rosenberg, Laura Styles, myself. So please make your way into the main room by the bar here, please. You're good, you're good, you're good. Yeah. All right. So, I would just begin. You want me to lead the people like Moses? True. All right, let's see what we can do. Yeah, I believe everybody is making their way, right? Yeah, warm and easy. We all have to make our way this way. By the bar, please. I think you are. I believe so. In this direction if you can. In this direction if you can, please. Momentarily. Momentarily. All right. Yeah. You see how they keep the music going and it's still vibe, right? Okay. All right, I won't keep you cramped up for too long. Let me get into it. Just a little bit. Greetings, everybody. How is everybody doing? Is everybody good? Yeah. One more time. Is everybody good inside of here? All right. You know, if you listen to the show a little bit, you know, the guru segments and things of that nature, you know, I am about the Zen and cleansing the energy. So it is extremely important to me that, you know, we keep our minds, our bodies, and our souls aligned in one position, right? So that is how we live our life. We are not divided souls or divided beings. You don't want to be double-minded. You want to be aligned. You want all of your energy to be in one place, right? So this is how we will begin it. First, welcome. and we appreciate you making time to be here. As I stated, my name is Salon50. I do the morning show with Hot 97, and I try to wake up the world in more than one way, if you understand. All right? So, there was a couple of questions that were presented to me, and I will say it quickly so we can move along. One of them was, I'll run through them and then I'll just answer it. It says, what does Black History Month mean to me? What do you want people to leave the room with? And what does this collaboration mean? And I will say in short, to me, Black History Month, it's not about just speaking of our inventors in our past and all of the amazing things that we've done as people from Africa through the diaspora that have been forgotten. To me, just it's important to know our past, but it is equally as important to move forward. And so with that, I would hope that everyone leaves the room with a sense of purpose of how we can move forward in creating solutions. Because we can always state the problems. That is the easy thing to do. My father, 1, 2. Uh-oh. One, two. All right. My father was a civil rights leader. My father was a part of the Black Panthers. My father ran for president in 1984. You can look him up. He began the Rainbow Coalition, but he was very grassroots. One of the things he used to tell me often when we were growing up, or when I was growing up, was anybody can state the problem, but who has the cure? As he would go there on 116. I talk low, but can y'all hear me?
Yep.
When he would go to 125th Street to see Malcolm X speak, you know, he was inspired in his own way. But the thing is, he said there were several people who always stood on the soapbox and would say, yeah, you know, our bills are too high. And they'd be like, yeah, you know, and so on the other block needs to come and fix the roof and this, that. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, you know, you're going to get that type of energy because everybody recognizes the problems. But the things that separated Malcolm and Martin and the Black Panthers were, all right, this is what we're going to do. What we're going to do now. I want you to meet me here, and this is the issue that we're going to resolve. So I took that with me in terms of trying to make sure that we always can find a solution, 1, 2, and a cure. You understand? So to me, that is what I want us to leave here with and lead through life with. Always try to find a solution. The cures, the problems are easy to find. Let's sit down and let's figure out how we can move forward. All right? And that is what Black History Month means to me, and every month and every day of my life. So please join us on this journey as we move forward. All right? And let me take this time out. One, again, thank you all for being here. Give yourself a round of applause. I'm part of an organization. We build the block, brick by brick, foot by foot, step by step. And thank you to Kokomo for organizing, allowing us to be here to have this event. Kevin and Rhea, the combination together. Kevin, I see you. Blessings to you. The combination together of We Build the Block in this location has history and has had amazing dinners and solutions and conferences here. So I cherish this place. And then this time I want to introduce to you another person that I cherish. She goes by the name of Dana Ratchland. Can you make some noise for her, please?
I should have known myself. I never followed Shawnee, but here we are. Okay, so thank you to Shawnee and to all of you for joining us here. And a very special thank you to Mark Hanna, the other district leader in the room, and the other district leaders who have helped support everything. If you don't know what a district leader is, you should come and talk to us and get to know your district leaders because they get to decide who is a judge. Yes, you heard it here first. There's a group of 44 people sitting in the back of Nick's Lobster House deciding on who becomes a judge. So please come talk to me and Mark Hanna, because we'd love to talk more about that with you. Now, for some business, just because we are talking about politics, and I've done this in my political capacity in the past. 2 years ago when Council Member Lincoln Ressler asked me to fill in a vacancy for district leader, I said yes, but you have 2 years to find my replacement. And I'm happy to say that he did, and it's a friend of mine, and it's somebody who's participated in the Salon 50, so I hope that you choose to support that person and our assembly member who's here tonight, Emily Gallagher, in the upcoming election, because I know that I do. And where does that leave judicial endorsements for all my judicial candidates in the room? You're not off the hook. I still vote this year. But also I'm working on a federal partnership so that we are going to be identifying and cultivating judges that share the values around reform and decarceration. So stay tuned, because there are big things coming your way. And I hope that you decide to be a part of it, not just in your words, but in your actions, similar to what we heard earlier. Okay, now for the fun stuff. So Emily, if you want to come up.
Sure.
Okay, if you know me well enough, you know that there's a lot of divine signs and God and all this stuff. And so God put a story on my heart, and I wanted to share it with all of you. The first time I saw Kokomo was August 2020 for Shawnee's birthday. We were walking by in our masks. Well, he wasn't wearing a mask because he's wearing a mask outside. It's not good for you, and he can explain the oxygen. Anyway, it's the height of the pandemic, and we're walking around, and we see all of these gorgeous people billowing out of this place that we've never heard of before, and it was Kokomo. And it was people who had dressed up in their finest outfits, who were sharing joy, who were laughing, who were having the best time all around us. And we're like, what the heck is that place? And that's the place that when the world opens up, we need to have what Shawnee, myself, and Michael K. Williams used to have. It's called these social justice centers. We need to have them here. So keep that in mind. Then a few weeks later, I'm at Nick Cannon's house with Mike filming a podcast. Now, if you knew Michael, you know there's a moment where the hunger reaches a level, and not anything will do. It has to be a hot lunch. So here comes Nick Cannon's personal chef with her tea-cut sandwiches. Mike's like, we gotta get out of here. I'm like, absolutely, I know, we're going. Where are we gonna go? And he's like, we gotta go to Kokomo. I said, oh great, I've been wanting to go there. It's always so busy, it's packed. So we come to Kokomo, and Kev comes and sits down with him, and the rest is history. I immediately understood that Rhea and Kev were building, what Rhea and Kev were building was history making, because Kokomo is the physical manifestation of their love, their family, and their contribution to the world. When Kev asked me to collab on this event, I thought about all the special moments rooted in love at Kokomo. From the first time I met Daryl in real life, who's now working with me, but for years has been doing the ASAP Foundation, which is fentanyl test strips. Please learn about fentanyl test strips and learn about this, talk to us about this. So the first time I met him was in real person life, because of COVID, was right over here with Michael. Having young people interview then mayoral candidate Eric Adams right in the back over here, where he told them to come work for him for free because the payoffs are huge. First dates, last dates, and girls' nights. Dinner with people who loved Mike, and Mike loved in the days following his death. Heal the Violence graduation with young people from Brownsville who successfully started their healing journeys right up in the front. But all this to say, Kokomo is undoubtedly part of the We Build the Block legacy and the family. Your love fosters and inspires our love, and I'm so grateful. And I want to just turn it over to the assembly member to also share a few words about how beautiful you and Rhea are. And the thing that I didn't say is, you built this thing during the pandemic. No restaurant has ever succeeded in this location. Bankrupt, closed down, and you opened it in the pandemic, and you killed it, and you made it a joyous, beautiful place. And we got to grow this restaurant and this community movement while you grew your family. I'm so grateful that we're a part of your history and legacy in this small way. So I turn it over to the beautiful assembly member.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dana. And I want to take a quick moment because Dana Racklin has been an amazing advocate in our district for over a decade. And she does so much for both our community and also the wider community. So I really want to thank her and thank her for taking on the district leader position and doing such an amazing job and continuing to do this really important reform work. You are an inspiration, and your work really, really is deeper than surface level, right? You build real relationships. You build real community, and I am so grateful to have you on my side. So thank you so much. So I am Assemblymember Emily Gallagher, and I am so honored to be here to present an award to the founders and establishment purveyors here of Kokomo. In a news article, Rhea said that the song Kokomo by the Beach Boys is about love and escape. And given the fact that this business was born out of our marriage and us wanting to leave everything for our family and the culture, we felt like Kokomo was a good fit. So when people think of the name, they think of the loving aspect behind it. And I gotta say, when you walk in this place, you can feel that love. You can feel the care. You can feel the depth of the community and the comfort that people are having here. And I'm really so proud to have this phenomenal business in my district. Thank you for fulfilling your dreams by infusing your love, culture, and talents in District 50. Thank you for being a local business that contributes incredibly to our district. So I would love to present Rhea and Kev with a small award, and there'll be a even fancier award coming shortly, but it's getting printed.
This is Kev, the owner of Kokomo. His beautiful wife is at home with their 3 little children, very sick, but we want to thank Kev for coming in. I know Rhea's not
Perfect, we're good.
I didn't know we were doing an award today. I just want to say thank you for
Nice to
that.
have a surprise, right?
No, definitely, God blesses all things, and this is definitely in God's will. So I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for God for bringing all you people here today. And I'm happy to be in your presence. So hopefully Kokomo continues to be a platform where we can spark some transformative change and bring some people together to have some much needed conversations, some crucial conversations, some conversations that are some people are fearful of having. And I believe there are a lot of proud and people here in this room that want to see some change in this neighborhood, in this district, and just in New York City in general. And me and my wife are happy to continue to spread that love and host those type of conversations here. And for us, it's just all about bringing people together and being able to express our culture and our love through food and through our family. So, I'm honored and I'm thankful for you all being here. I believe in everything that Dana, Shawnee, and Michael K. and the whole team at We Build the Block was doing. Rest in peace to Michael K. But definitely from the moment they walked to the restaurant, Dana tells everything she said is true. There's like an automatic connection, and they felt what we were doing, and it was parallel and in line with what they were doing. And it's just genuine people that believe in common things and just coming together and making it work and pushing for that. So thank you again for everyone being here, and I hope you guys are enjoying the vibe and us being together today. So thank you, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Now, if you've been to salons before, you know that we're out of how I normally do this. Not super political, not a lot of talking, but this is special because there's so much going on right now in the world, and we have to acknowledge what is special and amazing in this world. So we have one more award to give, and I didn't write anything for this because there's no way to write about somebody, that that gives you the feelings that, oh wait, this is what God meant when he first discovered that words can capture some of your emotions. And that award is for Tank, Rasan Brown over at Project Echo, Violence Interrupter Supervisor Extraordinaire. So for people who don't know what violence interrupters are, what the Pure Violence movement is, essentially it's the idea that finding credible messengers, people with lived experience, can lean in and help to cultivate safe communities by inspiring young people and coaching them and being mentors and all that beautiful stuff. And that is what they are doing every single day, despite us consistently disrespecting them by not investing in them with the training, with the regard and reward that they deserve, we need to call these folks first responders. And what led us to this award is because I got a call on a Saturday morning, and it was Tank. He had gone to meet another team member, to pick up another team member, and a shooting broke out. And here is him and his team. No vests, no radio, no badges, no anything, no formal training, none of that. Not even the promise of adequate compensation should you be harmed. But he still goes every single day with people like Big Boy, people like Doug, Ty, others in this city. Every single day, they're going to work doing the hardest jobs ever. And I have never seen anybody hustle the way that Tank has hustled for young people, to be a voice of reason, to be a voice of love, to be compassion. And you truly are all of our wildest dreams when it comes to like how to mentor and love and coach young people. Like, we all wish that we had this skill, and it's you that has it. And so I know Emily is going to share a few words about you, and Julia Salazar wanted to be here so badly. She was the one who met you in that meeting and was so impressed by you. She didn't even know that you saved the guy's life. There was a guy, so the shooting break, let me finish the story, right? I'm a comedian too. When everything goes belly up, you'll catch me doing comedy zone. But so anyway, see if Ray gets it. So Tank is at this shooting. I get there, what happens? A man is shot, he's got a knife, and he's bleeding out of his just been shot. Now the cops are coming. The cops are going to see a man covered in blood with a knife. What does Tank do? Tank helps to calm this man down so he can rest the knife down, so he could be met by the cops, hopefully without deadly force. Putting himself, his team members, and everybody in that community last. He said, this guy, we could talk him down, we could use the skills that we have. This is what community safety looks like. This is what being a hero looks like. This is what going above and beyond looks like. It is Tank. It is Big Boy. It is Dub. It is Bigga. It is India, who was shot and now in the hospital. It is Tree. It is all of these people that you don't know their names because we don't treat them like the heroes that they are. So in the spirit of what Shawnee said, I hope you get to know them and get to know their names. And I hope you join us in the fight to have them be the real guardians of safety, and that they are, and honored as such. So I love you, Tank. I know Emily wants to say a few words. Sorry. About Tank. He's also this team is just so incredible, and I've never felt love in a workplace like I have felt with you guys, and I'm grateful to know you. So I turn over to the assembly member, and we do have. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Tank. Thank you, Dana. I am really proud to get to present this award on behalf of Senator Salazar. We are fighting in Albany to make sure that you're getting funding, to make sure that we are moving the needle in the direction where we are putting more respect on the violence interrupter role, because it is such an important role, and public safety is at its core, and there are so many things that add into public safety. And I am so pleased to have gotten to meet so many folks through Dana and through the network of criminal justice reform who are doing this work, and you are one of the absolute best.
Thank you.
So I want to read a little bio for those of you who don't know Tank, like we know Tank. Rashawn Brown, known as Tank, has a long career as a public safety expert and a community leader. Prior to becoming the violence interrupter supervisor at Project Echo, a cure violence site in East Flatbush in 2023, Rashawn has spent the last 6 years mentoring and educating youth impacted by community and state violence in a variety of capacities. Rashawn capitalizes his training and passion for youth to support and foster safe communities. Rashawn is also the founder of Gangsters Giving Back, a community-based organization devoted to increasing public safety by ending gun violence, one of my absolute passions. Rashawn's commitment to safe communities and youth development began to blossom after being sentenced to 19 years in incarceration at age 21. While incarcerated, he obtained his associate's degree in public health from Bard College and made that decision to devote his life to helping individuals change their mindset and ultimately change their own lives. That's right. This is a community hero. In all of his roles, Rashawn has demonstrated that he is committed to practicing radical love and risking his own life and well-being to create safe and healthy communities, centering voices and experiences of the community in all of his efforts. So we have another placeholder certificate that is also quite beautiful, that will be replaced with an elegant declaration from the state recognizing your incredible achievements on behalf of our
Over here.
So, first and foremost, I want to thank God. I want to thank Dana for just being a special friend. When the first day I met you at the meeting, when the God Squad announced that this is going to be the director of operations, I didn't know what to expect, but you are a special person in my life and in all of the lives of the individuals who I work with at Project Echo. Big boy, Doug, Ty. It's not, it's a collective effort to doing this, and you was a part of the origin of Project Echo, and we're going to continue to have a special place in each other's lives. I do this because I want to help and I don't want to hurt. I know what it's like to be a 16-year-old boy going through a feud. Just lost my mother at the age of 15, my grandmother at the age of 13, didn't have anybody to talk to, so I was in an emotional feud. So the youth that I help, it helps me when I help them. So it's like, it's my comfort zone because I know what it was like not having nobody to talk to. BCW looking for me around the house. I'm hiding under the bed. All types of stuff that I wasn't a child shouldn't be used to going through. But I went through it, and I'm imparting that knowledge, that experiential knowledge on those who I mentor, the 15, the 16, the 17-year-old youths that we mentor out of East Flatbush. It feels good when their mother or their father or their grandmother calls and say, God bless you. I see the change in my child. I see it. And it might be incremental changes, and it's not going to happen overnight. You can't feed a baby steak. But a parent knows their child. Yeah, you got to feed them baby food. A parent knows their child, and they know when their child is changing for the better. And not to say a child is bad or anything like that, because children aren't born bad. It's environmental effects, structural racism, you name it, whatever it is. But I want to thank you, Dana, Big Boy, Doug, Ty, Assemblywoman Emily, thank you.
You're welcome.
And,
Okay, I don't know where Shawnee went, but now
I'm hiding behind you.
to go back to, so I want to thank the Assemblywoman for being here tonight. I don't know where is Shawnee in the space. So now everybody who's been to salons, you know that there's a speaker, and I'm super grateful and super excited to announce that. Do you want me to just do it? Yeah. Well, if he says it, then it's true. So now this is the important. All of it is important, but this is the part where you get to take not just your feelings, but some knowledge, right? So what we just gave you is the muscle, right? This is the stuff that feels, that you can leave and take away with some stories. And they got stories too, but they also have the data. This is not some imaginary thing that we're talking about, but this is really, what we're talking about is the heart and soul of our city. And so, without further ado, if you know me, you know that the salons are about putting the judges and judicial candidates who are in the room, raise your hands, no, I'm just kidding, but you should find out. There are judicial candidates in this room right now, where I want us all to collectively learn about the facts that are impacting our city, and about the solutions that actually make sense for those facts when we are honest. So I am super grateful to say that our next and last speakers, so they're going to talk for a few minutes, they'll take some Q&As, and then we're just back to a big party, is the Office of the Community Liaison. So a decade has passed since a federal judge found that the New York City Police Department was liable for violating the constitutional rights of individuals with respect to policing practices involving stop, question, and frisk. The federal judge issued a remedial order requiring the city to engage in remedial process to reform the NYPD's unconstitutional practices and appointing a monitor to oversee this process. So that monitor appointed my good friend Jermaine Thompson as the community liaison. And he has now put together a team of incredible people, one of whom being Tatiana, which we always, I don't know who here is hiring, but I'm like, Jermaine, how do we tap who you, like, what is this that you have going on? They're going to tell you about what's happening as far as compliance goes by the NYPD with stop, question, and frisk, and what the impact of non-compliance is. We are going to offer you a chance to get involved, and they will tell you what that chance is to give no money. If you would like to give some money, based off of what they tell you, we are spending at least $200 a week in Ubers, going back and forth to court for tickets and DATs that are thrown out. We're buying new coats because the cops keep their coats. We're buying new phones. You can't do case management. You can't be connected and getting jobs if your phones are taken. We're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars a week and staff time to deal with what happens when the NYPD is not compliant with the stop, question, and frisk remedial mandate. So I will be quiet and now turn it over. This is the last you will hear of me. But if you would like to, there's QR codes on your menus to donate to Rebuild the Block. That is how we are covering the expenses that are incurred by these unconstitutional and violent actions. And without further ado, and we have shirts. If you give $25 or more, we have a shirt for you while supplies last. I turn it over to the gorgeous and smart and intelligent Tatiana and Jermaine from the Office of the Community Liaison.
Oh, I have to leave actually.
So hello everyone, how are you doing tonight? It's wonderful to see you all here in support of a community initiative and learning about our history, but also, as was mentioned earlier, our future and how we can get involved with our community work to make our community safer and healthier. My name is Tatiana Hill. I'm a community organizer. I started doing organizing around mass incarceration because I was personally impacted by my loved ones going to prison. And I wanted to learn more about it. I was organizing originally around labor. You heard of labor unions organizing. And I knew the concept of organizing, but it became personal to me when loved ones were impacted by this system. So I came into this role because I care about how our communities are policed. I care about how our people see policing and how they want it to change, and how we view safety. If you notice tonight, it came up constantly. What is safety? What does safety look like? And how do we in this room create safety for our communities, right? How do we impart knowledge on our youth to keep them safe and to keep them from creating harm for themselves as well as others? And how are we all doing the work to keep this work going? So I want to introduce Jermaine, my colleague, my boss, and we'll talk some more about the work that we do. But thank you.
All right, peace everyone. I hope y'all enjoying your night. First off, I want to say thank you to Dana for having us. Appreciate you all here at Kokomo for having us. Shawnee. I'm gonna start off a little bit unorthodox and kind of give y'all a background on me, right? Because I'm not supposed to be in this position that I'm in right now. I'm a young man with no college degree. I got into this work because my best friend was killed in a gang shootout, and it kind of shifted my mind to go into a place like, how can I change the mindsets of my community? So I started my own nonprofit organization called Take It to the Court Foundation, where we bring awareness to gun violence in our communities. Through the funds that we raise, we take that money and give it to a child that has lost their loved ones to help inspire college inspirations. So that's what we do at that. But along that course, I landed myself at Legal Aid Society, where I started doing these Know Your Rights sessions and trainings and getting database trainings and sessions. And then this position came up, and I threw my hat in. The last day was a Friday. I threw my hat in on a Friday, and I got the position. Right. So here I am, a court-appointed individual, no college degree, and speaking for community members. So with that being said, the reason our office was created to get feedback from community members when it comes to stop, question, and frisk. I also don't like talking at people too, so I'll be asking out questions while I'm doing it. So when I say that, I want to ask you all. I know this is a different crowd, but I'm still going to ask the question: how many of you all knew there was a federal monitor in place? That's half. That's not even 25% of the room. So the federal monitor been in place for about 10 years now, right? And they oversee level 1, 2, and 3 stops when it comes to stop, question, and frisk and street encounters. That's why we're here, right? Communities don't know, right? How many people thought stop, question, and frisk stopped back in 2013 when the judge ruled it unconstitutional? Right? That's not true. It's still here, right? So the monitorship has been here for 10 years for a reason. And that reason is no change, right? There may have been some change, but it's not a lot. So when we come into the spaces about going to our communities, working with organizations like Project Echo, We Built the Block, Vivo, these different organizations throughout the city, we're asking community members their real life experiences, right? And sometimes that's hard for community members to give. So we don't just come into a space, we also want to offer them resources, so we connect with different organizations as well. So if somebody having housing issues, we're able to help them. Somebody having issues with employment, we're able to help them. Our whole purpose for being in this position is to give the power back to the community, right? That's why we have these brochures up here. If you all want to come take one, take a look at it. Our slogan for our office is bringing community voices to the forefront, right? We want to remain neutral in this position. And people say neutral is always on the wrong side, but in our situation, when I say we want to remain neutral, we're giving that power back to the people, right? So whatever you tell me, Tank give me a story, he tells it to me, I'm relating that story to the monitor and to the courts, word for what he tells me, good or bad, right? We have no input, no impact on what anyone is saying, right? And that's the purpose of this office, that's why we're here. So I know I'm gonna pass it off to Tatiana. Anybody have any questions, anything, please feel free to cut us off anytime and throw your hands up.
So I'll take it back a bit, just to clarify some things. So when we asked how many people in the room thought stop, question, and frisk was ended, a few people raised their hand, but I know many of you in this room remember stop and frisk in the late 90s and early 2000s, right? When people were being policed excessively, people were being brutalized by police and searched without consent. That's the work that we do. We talk about that still existing. It's called stop, question, and frisk, but it's the same thing. What I do, and my colleagues, we go to different neighborhoods, we go to different community groups, and we're educating our youth and people who are impacted by policing. We're talking to them about what a stop looks like, what it could look like, and what to expect, and what your rights are within a stop. Because a lot of our people are encountered by police every day, right? And we don't know what to expect. We don't know what our rights are. We don't know what to say. We don't know what they're saying to us, if it's true or not. And that means that we don't have a society that's equally yoked and safe. If we're not holding our police officers accountable, how are they keeping our neighborhood safe? How are they making it so that our children can grow up and be educated and grow into their careers and blossom into entrepreneurship, right? We're not doing our due justice if we don't know the law, just like the law is done over us. We have to know what's going on around us. So a big part of our job is to educate folks around Stop, Question, and Frisk. And then we want to collect your stories. We want to hear from people. So Jermaine was talking about us being neutral. We both mentioned our backgrounds, right? We care about people not being impacted negatively by this system. But in this role, we're going to take a step back. And we're asking you as community members who have children and youth mostly who are targeted by police that have stories about policing to tell us your stories. We're reporting directly to a judge who's overseeing Stop and Frisk to this day. There's many offices in New York City that do work around policing that talk about community aspects of it, but we have a direct contact with the judge who can talk to NYPD and tell them these things need to change. These community members are seeing all of this type of violence happen during police stops, all of these unconstitutional stops where they're being searched without consent, where we're having illegal stops happen. We now are educating people so that they can tell us this wasn't a legal stop or this happened to me outside of the parameters of what's legal. So now we have an opportunity to have some sort of justice on a small scale that can build into more. I'm always in the mind that, you know, all of us probably working people. We go to work every day, we want to feed our families, we want to live, but you have power as an individual, right? And we together collectively can build power. And one of the ways we build power is by telling our stories. We talked about credible messengers like Taint. These are people who are telling you their real life experiences, and that has now turned the tide to build power for our youth, to make people feel safe, and to create, like I said earlier, safer communities. All of us care about safety, right? I'm pretty sure many of us work on different sides of the spectrum, but all of us want safe communities. We want our kids to grow up and be knowledgeable, educated. We want to minimize harm. I talked earlier about being impacted by the criminal justice system because my loved ones are incarcerated in prisons. Prisons and jails are some of the most inhumane systems that exist in this world. And in America, we see Black and brown communities incarcerated the most. The avenue to incarceration is policing. So if we don't stop these illegal stops and we don't educate people and we don't communicate with NYPD about how we need to be policed and what we want to see change, it will continue to happen. Our people will continue to go to prisons and jails, and they're coming home without the resources, without the safety that we need, without the opportunity to stay home, right? And be fathers and uncles and sons in our communities. And I think that we as a people can come together collectively in spaces like tonight and talk about solutions and how we can change things and talk about ways to change policing to minimize incarceration. I think all of you can think of one or two people you know that have been touched by this system, right? Any room I go and I ask people, how many people do you know that have been arrested or incarcerated? Somebody's raising their hands, and it's usually half of the room. That has to change. So in order for us to do that, I just want all of us to get involved, whether it be with our office or another community organization nearby you. Find out how you can, contribute to this movement. And I'll open the floor for questions. I saw a few hands when Jermaine asked. So if folks have questions you want to ask us.
Yeah, so how you feel about the How Many Stops Act being made law? There was a lot of backlash with that bill from the conservatives and moderate Dems. So how you feel about that?
So How Many Stops Act goes hand in hand with the work that we do.
Yeah.
It's basically legislation to determine that any stop a police officer makes will be documented. So remember, we're teaching about the levels of encounters, but technically we're noticing when we do feedback from community, a lot of people are telling us about stops that never got documented. We talked about the federal monitor. The monitor team looks at body cameras. You see police officers wearing the camera on the vest. They look at body camera footage and they look at police reports. Anytime a police officer has an interaction, they should be documenting it. But How Many Stops Act came about because we're realizing there are many stops that are not being documented. So that act of legislation came about because people spoke up, just like I talked about. We build power, right? Any of you can go to your legislators, like Emily is in the room somewhere, and you can write legislation and you can get it passed. If you have enough support behind you, you can bring 10 people from your building. You can bring some of the people from your tenant association and come together and write up legislation that impacts you and your community members. How Many Stops Act is created from people who were impacted by bad police stops and they wanted more accountability. They wanted more documentation around policing.
One more question. How you feel about working with Care Providers organizations? Do you work with any Care Providers organizations?
Yeah, we absolutely do. We've gone to Bingo. We've just connected with Project Echo and SOS, Man Up. We're definitely on the side of things that people on the ground doing the work need to be uplifted the most. So absolutely, we believe in cure violence. We believe in violence interrupters. We believe in people being credible messengers, and those closest to the problem being closest to the solution.
Yeah, I just gotta give one more shout out to Cure Violence because that's where I got my start at. So from the Bronx, it's True to Life in Staten Island, Bragg in the Bronx, Life Camp, CCD. It used to be 696. So I've been working with Cure Violence site for the past 7, 8 years. So appreciate that question. Any other questions? All right, cool. So we appreciate y'all having us again. We got some brochures up here. One of them, it breaks down the levels of encounters that Tatiana was just talking about. This is an educational piece that we give out. Other one goes to our community engagement plan. Explaining, our plan on how we're going to be approaching communities. And the other one just give a little background on our office. Please take this brochure because on the back, it has a QR code on the back. If you scan that, it'll keep y'all connected with us to our social media, website, anything like that. If y'all want to request any information or give any feedback, you all can contact us through there. Oh, yeah, thank you. See, that's why. This is Erica, our social media specialist.
I got you.
She keeping me on point. Next Monday on the 26th, we're having our second community conversation with the Federal Monitor. So we figured that, I probably can ask this question again. Nobody gonna raise their hand, but how many people in here have ever seen the Federal Monitor? Okay, so this is the purpose of these events, right? It's for us to be able to bring that Federal Monitor into communities, and you all can ask her questions yourself, right? So, and on the 26th, February 26th, next Monday at 6 o'clock at Elm Court in Queens, we will have our second event with the Federal Monitor. It'll be a community conversation based around stop, question, and frisk. And then from there, we're going to the Bronx. From there, we're going to Manhattan. And then from there, we're going to Staten Island. So we'll be doing a tour throughout the city quarterly. But so if you all have time, please feel free. Next Monday, come out and see us. And all that information as well is on our website and social media.
Taking two guys.
My soul.